Dr. Josh Halper again. Tessa volunteered to turn around and show her butt. Can you imagine? I don't know about these women. Yeah, let me tell you. But let me show you. The anal glands are two little sacs that are located about 4 and 7 o'clock around the rectum. And the rectum is a little hole where your dog passes their stool. So essentially, we'll go to a diagram, but they are located here and here internally, and there's a little duct that enters into the rectum. That's essentially the entrance to the anus there, and we'll talk about what comes out of there. So once again, we want to talk about, there's a lot of concern with anal glands. Dogs will actually, a normal dog can get their anal glands filled up, and they should empty them when they have a bowel movement. That's why every once in a while your dog will come in and they'll have a little nasty odor coming back. They just had a bowel movement and they've expressed their glands. Or when a dog gets excited, the adrenaline will cause something called fight or flight, and the dog will express these anal glands, and you'll have a nice odor, a real musty odor. I'm sure you've smelled it, and you can't miss it once you smell it. So, and a lot of times dogs are unable to empty their glands because sometimes they have anatomical problems back there. Sometimes the dog becomes obese and they're unable to empty their glands, or sometimes they'll actually become infected and rupture. So we'll talk about that in a diagram, but some dogs need anal gland attention. Some dogs need anal glands physically expressed by a veterinary professional. Sometimes they need to be infused, and sometimes they actually need surgical removal. So there's a wide gauntlet of anal gland concerns, and when the anal glands become painful, when anal glands become filled, they can actually become painful, and actually sometimes the gland will become infected and rupture, similar to when people get hemorrhoids. And here's a little diagram showing you a picture of your dog's anal gland area. Up here is the tail that we're going to pull out of our way, and right here, right about in the middle, is the little anus or rectum where the dog passes their poop. If you think about on a clock, the 7 o'clock and 4 o'clock position is where the anal glands are located just under the skin. Each little anal gland has a little segment or tube that drains right into the rectum there. And as the dog has a bowel movement, there's something called the external anal sphincter, the muscles around here, that will express not only the rectum, but express the glands and also empty them. A lot of times when a dog becomes obese, meaning that your dog is wider, and then for some reason these glands get pushed out of the circle and will become filled. So obesity or overweight can cause some anal gland problems, and a lot of times your veterinary professional has to go in there manually with a gloved finger and empty them. Sometimes what will happen is the dog will get an infection. If the dog doesn't empty these glands, this gland potentially can get bigger and bigger and bigger and affect all the tissue around the back end, and will dry out and will rupture, break open. You have bleeding side to almost like a hemorrhoid with people. So this needs veterinary attention, and you should see your veterinarian immediately. So give us a call if you smell odor or if you see blood associated with the rectum. So very, very important. The anal glands are very taboo. The anal glands are in the dog for one purpose only, is to mark their territory. The domestic dog and cat really has no purpose with anal glands, but they're still there, and so they need to be attended to. Some dogs need more attention than others. So if you have questions, you have concerns, if you're smelling an odor you don't like, if you see blood, if you see discharge, then you need to give us a call at the office immediately so we can get this taken care of. Once again, Dr. Josh Halper, and we can talk about this more in the office when you come in at Hillview Veterinary Clinic in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. And I hope you love my diagrams because I really worked hard at these. Thanks again.